All right, guys, welcome back to Steadfast Raceway. We're going to put some some more cars down the strip, and put them up against the cars in the top 48 to see if they can get in. We were so close to getting some more in, and then we ran into a little bit of a snafu with some duds that were over here, the Subaru BRZ or the Subaru WRX right there. And we also have this Honda Type R, which isn't running right. So we can get some more cars back into the case. And I think the case is, going to be improved. And the case being the top 48, my top 48 cars. And so that's what I'm going to try and do. The first thing we got to do, though, is this guy right here. He does not belong down here, I don't think. But we're going to test that out. That Formula Gen E3 is going to go against the Drifsta. Let's do it. All right, here we go. First race. Ooh, Drifsta with a 1745. Impressive. All right, let's swap the lanes. All right, lanes are swapped. 1745, time to beat. And a 1751 wins the race, but is not enough to move past Drifsta. And the Formula Gen E3 will stay exactly where it's at. All right, so what that means is that now we are going to put these through back into the case, or see if the track tune can get back into the case, and then we'll see if these other guys can get past the gatekeeper. Yeah, so if the track tune can't get back in, I don't know if these will either. So we'll see. Let's do it. Track tune versus the Honda Type R, Honda Civic Type R. All right, the Honda Civic Type R was putting up times in the 1770s. Let's see if it's improved and can hold off the track tune from taking its spot. 1762 to a 1768. Uh-oh, Honda's in trouble. Let's swap lanes. All right, lanes are swapped. Let's see who can do it. And a 1749 is impressive and will bounce that Honda Type R out of the case, and we'll move up to the Subaru BRZ Pandem. All right, now he's going to take on the Pandem Subaru BRZ. Let's do it. 1758 to a 1776. Not a fast race, but the track tune wins it. Let's swap the lanes. All right, the lanes are swapped. 1758 is the time to beat for Subaru to hold off the track tune, or for the track tune to move on. Don't mind the noise in the background. It is kids playing in the neighborhood, but they are okay despite the fact that they are screaming a lot. All right, 1758, time to beat. Let's see who you got. Ooh, and a 1756 will move the track tune past the BRZ and facing the Formula Gen E3. Okay, the BRZ is the new gatekeeper. Let's see if track tune can keep moving on. 1752 virtual tie, but the track tune takes it by less than a thousandth of a second. Swap lanes. All right, here we go. 1752, I think. And a 1743, the Formula Gen E slams the door shut on that conversation about passing them up. And the track tune is back in the case, but just barely. All right, so the track tune made it to the 47th spot out of the top 48. And now that BRZ is the gatekeeper. So now we get to test the others against that BRZ. I don't think they'll get past them, but we'll start with this pink Datsun. If the Datsun can't do it, then we're not testing the others. Let's do it. All right, 240Z versus the BRZ. And the Datsun does it by 1/1000th of a second. 1748. Let's swap the lanes. All right, lanes are swapped. 1748 is the time to beat. And the 1743 is enough for the Datsun the 240Z to take out the BRZ. Man, another BRZ on the street. All right, let's see if it can move up. All right, here we go. The Datsun 240Z versus the Track Tune. Let's see who can do it. And the Datsun 240Z takes it with a 1750. I'm a little bit surprised by that one. I thought the Track Tune would hold them off. All right, swap lanes. All right, lanes are swapped. And the 240Z takes it again, and we'll move on and face the Formula Gen E3. All right, Gen E3, let's see if he can do it. And he does it. 1742 versus a 1756. 240Z falling short by 4 1,000ths. Let's swap the lanes. All right, lanes are swapped. Let's see if the Gen E3 can hold his spot. And he does with a 1760. Slower race, but he does it. And let's see. If the 240Z can't move on, well, he did pass one car, so we can test another one against that Track Tune. All right, here we go. It's a custom 240Z versus the Track Tune. Track Tune is the current gatekeeper. Let's see if he can get in. And a 1745. That Track Tune is streaky, but 1745 is going to be hard to beat. Let's swap the lanes. All right, lanes are swapped. 1743 time to beat. Ooh, Track Tune just accelerated and ends up getting a 1743 again. And that is all she wrote. None of these other cars are going to get in. All right, so this is how it ended up working out. We did get a few into the case. So the Track Tune is the new gatekeeper. The Datsun 240, the pink Datsun 240Z right there got in today. Let's see, what else got in? Then the Lotus Esprit got in today. That was great. And then of course, let's see, who else got in? And then the Toyota 2000 GT got in as well. So very successful, challenging for the case. And so really surprised. Right now, the current speed, the current necessary speed to even just get into the top 48 is around a 17.5. Really, I would say a 17.4 to be competitive. So now we know 1743. That's really, yeah, 1743 is the time to really kind of aim for. So that's what we'll be shooting for in future videos, is trying to get to a 1740, a 17.4 or a 1.74. And as we get some more ranks, like once I get weight classes, then we'll go ahead and add those to this open space right here, and change some of this out. And then we will have more cars to race and have more fun. All right, thank you guys for tuning in to Steadfast Diecast, and I'll see you at the next one. All right, bye-bye.